Welcome to the Tall Girl Tuesday podcast. It's your girl Danny. And on this week's episode of News and Libations, we'll go ahead and just start off with what I'm drinking. It's a sangria type of day. I do have a little White Claw on the side as a little extra little spiciness to the drink. Give it a little bit of, change it up a little bit. So I have my sangria and my White Claw. The mango flavor to be exact. If you know, you know. And on this week's episode of News and Libations, I wanted to talk about good morning texts. Okay? And I had a conversation recently with someone, and I want to know what y'all's opinions are in terms of good morning texts. Are you someone who has to have it, not really a big deal? You prefer to speak to someone in the morning opposed to them waiting all day to reach out, or it's not something that you really think about? Because I'm noticing that with me, I feel like if a guy goes an entire day without reaching out to me, it makes me feel like, you haven't thought about me all day, or you haven't had a second in your day to at least reach out to me and say hello. Like, I'm an overthinker. I say that all the time. This is my platform, so I'm always going to be as honest as I can about things. I overthink everything. So no good morning text for some reason in my mind equates to or I am an afterthought or something like that. And I try to, when I'm building relationships with people, that's potential, dating material, that's something that I have to, I guess, discuss if I feel like it's lagging, or if I feel like the communication is not there as well as it needs to be. I try to be a communicator. I try to be someone who, I want to talk to you. I want to know how your day is going. I want to know that you slept well. I want to know that, you're okay. I want you to know that I'm thinking about you and all of those things. So I feel like when I don't get that in return, it triggers something in my mind that says, it just puts me on like alert or in defense. And sometimes it's not even necessary. But I wanted to discuss that because I was having a conversation with a guy friend of mine. And we was just talking about dating, relationships and stuff like that. And I mentioned to him, I said, let me ask you a question about good morning text. Like, are you that way when you're in your dating life with women? And he was like, it's funny that you mentioned it to me because I just kind of got called out on that too. And he was like, he was saying he couldn't really give me an opinion on it because he was just called out on it from a female that he's dating. And so he kind of gave me both ends of it, but he couldn't really necessarily relate to what I'm saying because that's something that he's trying to work on in his dating life as well. So I was just wondering, like, where do you guys stand on good morning texts or phone calls, something? I'm not comfortable with the entire day going by and I don't hear from you, because I just feel like I said, an afterthought, or I feel like, why is there not 5 or 10 minutes in your day where you can just reach out and say hello? Like, are you honestly that busy? I don't think so. And one thing I've learned, especially from my guy friends in terms of dating and building and relationships, is that people make time for what they want. And it took me a long time to really, really understand the meaning of that. I was having to go through what I was going through in order to get to the point where I now understand it. And I apply that to my relationships moving forward. So I just want to know, like, what is your stand on that, and how do you approach or address that with the person that you're interested in? Now, I'm speaking of this as a one-sided situation, but I'm not talking about the times that I actually initiate the conversation or reach out first to say good morning, because I am that person also. I don't just wait for a guy to reach out to me and for us to have a conversation. If you're on my mind, I'm going to reach out, but at the same time, I want it to be reciprocated too. So I feel like if I'm not giving you that type of energy where I'm waiting all day to reach out to you, then why are you doing that to me? And everybody is quick to say, things going on, life is happening. Yes, but it takes no time to just check in. It doesn't take that much time just to check in and say hi, to say good morning. I don't know if that's something I will ever be comfortable with. So, am I tripping? Do y'all think that's something that's unreasonable to request from someone you're dating or from someone that you're trying to build something with? Because I feel like if I mention it to you once in a way that is just like a hypothetical type of thing, and I'm asking you, is this something that you're against, or is this something that you're not really, if that's something that's not a priority of yours, and the response is, like we have an actual meaningful conversation about it, and then you kind of continue on as though we never had that conversation, I start to wonder, because it's like, well, I mentioned it for a reason. It was a question, but it wasn't like just a hypothetical situation. I just didn't put the energy into it to make it heavy where you feel like, oh boy, here she go. Like, it's not a complaint or something that needs to be an argument or a debate about. So I feel like if I take the time to mention it to you, that means it's on my mind, and that's something that I feel like I need. And, you still don't really provide that, then is it up to me to be the one to continue to reach out first? Because I honestly can't see myself being that person either. I feel like when it comes to dating, especially like with new people, there's a fine line between being someone who's consistent and then being someone who's putting in more of the effort to stay in contact with a person, if that makes sense. And I don't want to ever be the person that's always initiating things. Yeah, that's not my style at all, because eventually it gets tiring and boring, and I'm just going to give you the same energy you're giving me, and then that could lead to us not speaking at all. So let me know what you guys think about that. Good morning texts. How do you feel about it? Do you need them? Do you not care to have them? They don't bother you if you don't get them? Or phone calls, whatever. Just any type of communication in the morning. Does that make you feel a kind of way if you don't get it? Or do you kind of take it for what it is and like the person to reach out when they can, because other things are going on in life? But let me know what you guys think. Tap into this conversation. As always, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to shop the Teespring shop. Get yourself some Tall Girl Tuesday merch. The link is in my bio. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tall Girl Tuesday, the podcast. And as always, thank you. I appreciate you. Email into me some topics that you want to hear me talk about. tgtthepodcast@gmail.com. And also, if you want to be a guest on the show, fill out the form. The link is in my bio. If you want to be a sponsor, fill out the form. The link is in my bio. I appreciate you staying involved and getting involved with the LLC, with the brand. We over here making moves. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week.